I'm going to pick Georgia because I think that they have been the most tested. I know that they've had bumps in the road. When I look at the teams that they would play, I look at Notre Dame and just say to myself, I don't know if Notre Dame, even though I think that game will be very close, I don't know if Notre Dame can come over the hump. Then when I look at the next game that they would potentially play, it would be Penn State. And neither one of those teams have proven to me, whether it be Penn State or Notre Dame, that they can take on a Georgia this season, that they can take on a Georgia and win. Not to say that they can't take on a Georgia and beat them. They can beat them. They easily could. I haven't seen Notre Dame tested like that. And I would want to see what it looked like when you faced off against a defensive line that can get after you like that. And you got in clear passing situations, and Riley Leonard's got to throw the football. Like, what does that look like? So then I think the same thing happens with me in Penn State. The more physical D-line one of the more physical D-lines that they face in Ohio State and USC, because even though we thought it was Oregon, man, Oregon did not play physical. Joe, they had issues offensively. So I know it's very chalky to go 1-2. Very. Who else am I supposed to pick here?
No, it makes the most sense. And I agree with your points that you're bringing up here with Georgia. And they're my second pick. And I think we're in agreement with each other overall on this. The matchups that they would likely face against Notre Dame and against Penn State, let's say that those matchups play out the way that we're expecting. Notre Dame has not shown, actually, I'm just going to be very broad with both these teams. Neither have shown an ability that if the run game is taken away, that they can turn to their passing attack. They just haven't. They haven't had to play in a situation where that has happened, and they've had to, spread the ball out and attack downfield. They just don't have the receivers. They don't have the passing production. As much as I would love for Notre Dame to go on a run here and to win a national title, and I think that there is a chance they could win the game if they play exactly like Georgia Tech did. But if Georgia is locked in and focused and playing to the potential that we know that they can play at in a playoff setting, and their defense is clicking on all cylinders, their secondary is going to be able to lock down the receivers for Notre Dame and the receivers for Penn State. I think, as you're saying here, it's very easy to go
really chalk. Good matchup for Georgia. Let's just be real.
Right. It's easy to go chalk here, but at the end of the day, Georgia has the best path. They have the best matchups of potential opponents that they could see on a national championship trajectory type run.
I mean, other than Penn State, really. I mean, God forbid Georgia got knocked off. Then all of a sudden you get to a place where, what's going to happen at the bottom of the bracket here?
BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.